Hello friends, how are you? This is now part 3 of the I don't know how many part series so far. I'm guessing about 4 or 5 for our winter solstice 2019, new moon eclipse, Pluto-Saturn conjunction of 2020, and in the last video we talked some more about the history behind this conjunction, especially the transits of how this whole year is going to play out, because it's very, very messy. We even had a nice little surprise at the end I didn't expect when we got to the month of November and the 2020 election and the outcomes. And so we finished, this is what I call the Tarotscope, because what we have I found is that through every lunation they have a message, and the message is always consistent and it always guides us. I'm being so thorough with this eclipse solstice Saturn Pluto conjunction because we want to be on the correct side. We want to do it right. We want to do it right the first time, and it's going to be challenging. I think a lot of ZQT viewers are going to be okay. It's the rest of the world that's going to lose their mind. And so we need to know how to anticipate that, work with them, be of support. And so what I wanted to do, I'm going to lay one more layer of this Tarotscope, the angel deck, because I want to do the Tarotscope for the United States of America this coming year. And the reason is why, because there's only 3 other times that we know of in history where we had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. The one in 1500 was the fall of Constantinople. The one in the year 500 was the fall of the Roman Empire. And the one around 1839 BCE was during the 12th dynasty of ancient Egypt, the golden era that came to an end. So, United States of America. What do you have in store for this year? It's like a turning point, that things will never be the same. We're going to overlay these cards with ours that we did for ZQT viewers, and 9 of Pentacles. We want security, comfort. This could also be oligarchs that need to be out of politics. And so here we go. Do I need to, I need to make sure these are all the right side up, and then I need to reverse. Just a moment. Okay, now they're all right side up. I love these gilded decks. They're so pretty. These decks slide so nicely in my hand. I rarely use this deck because I just feel I take it out for special occasions. So influence of the angels. What do we need to reverse here for this upcoming year for USA? I'm going to reverse this. Remember yesterday I did this and the devil spilled out right over the sun. Crazy. What else? I can feel there's another one that needs to be reversed. I need to get it close. Okay, here. Where is it? What needs to be reversed? What needs to be? What needs to? There we go. That feels right. Okay, watch. None of them show up. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my deck for. Wow, I really feel like I had to focus to get those drawn out. Okay. Influence of the angels. What do we have on the ascendant for the theme for the whole year? The Two of Cups. We're not so divided. I think they just keep telling us that, and they keep terrorizing us with that, with social media. And then we have the mainstream media that's echoing it, as well as newsprint. Should really go take a look at who these people are who are in charge of these giant corporations. So this is what USA has, Two of Cups. We want to help bridge USA to Two of Cups. ZQT viewers, we had the devil on the ascendant, because the devil is going to be constantly be lurking, wanting to make a deal, give us shortcuts, and cut corners. We're not going to do that because we want to get to the agreements. And we're not going to ruin our agreements. So, down here, it's December. Sun is in Capricorn. 4th house of home and defenses. Our security, how we nurture one another. USA has Knight of Cups reversed. The Knight of Cups is usually, for me, Donald Trump, who is trying to make a deal with someone, whether it's a bribe or whatever, behind the scenes, to get him out of situations. The Knight of Cups reverse isn't doing that anymore on behalf of USA security. I'm sure he is still doing it, but for USA security, this needs to be turned on its head. And this is from about December 21st to January 21st. Look at all these planets we have. We have eclipses that are going to help this along. We drew the Ten of Pentacles, which our security at home has to do with our values, our families, quality food, quality products, quality education, quality everything, remembering who we truly are. It's truly our families. In the 5th house of the Sun, which usually represents the president, for the United States of America, we have our government, our structures, our establishments, the way we do things. We at ZQT had the 8 of Wands, so things are happening quickly here, and this is during Aquarius season, which is like the end of January, going into February. But if you notice here, a little bit of Capricorn is in here. One other thing I want to say, when we're looking at a horoscope, many of you know this, this is over Washington, D.C. The sun and a horoscope represents the leader, the president. So there you go, another reason why the Knight of Cups is going to be overturned, government. And I wish I had commented on this earlier, but I think this is incredibly important to note. Donald is a Gemini. His sun is, I think, at 21 degrees, 55 minutes Gemini. It's very close to the midheaven. It's about it's about 2 degrees off the top. When I've talked about the midheaven, the thing that you want to become, it's the thing that's crowning a person in a tarot reading. In an horoscope, it's the 10th house of achievements, the public skies. Everyone can see this, your reputation. Down here, this opposite that would be the sign of Cancer. See, they're flipped here. Cancer is a natural ruler of the 4th house, and Capricorn, which is down here, is a natural ruler of the 10th. They flipped here. It's almost like, and we're having eclipses, it's almost like we're turning over the leadership and also our homestead, what's protecting our home. You see that? Moreover, the lower heaven, the midheaven is your highest career point. Then you have all the energies of the heavens. Everything is bearing down to one point below the feet at Washington, D.C. This actually, the point I'm using is the Washington Monument. Here, the lower heaven, or the IC, for a Latin name, I can't even say it, but I'm just telling you so in case you hear that. 19 degrees, 12 minutes. Mercury is 19 degrees, 8 minutes. Each degree is about 60 miles. Each minute is about a mile. So somewhere, I mean, this just moved into the third house, barely perceptible. Let's just say it's conjunct the lower heaven. What is so profound about this? The lower heaven represents the graves of our ancestors. So, if we're talking about the photos, the karmic point of this, besides the eclipses, we have those before him. Mercury, the people before him. I feel like these are our ancestors related to our founding fathers and beyond. There's karma to be paid, and it's right here. We're right at the grave. We're deciding how important is this. Remember who you are. There's a lot of messages here. I feel like this is like a cavalry of angels just standing here. Oh my goodness, there's so many. I'm like not an angel expert, but they're waiting in the wings. They're lined up and ready to go. This is just like, wow. We're going to have to come back to this during the year. Wow. Okay. Let's come back up here. This area of the chart has to do with public service, your day-to-day work. It has to do with your intelligence agencies. It has to do with analysis, investigation. It has to do with health. It has to do with those professionals that you hire, dealing with your health. This has to do with your coworkers as well. So this is going to happen, like mid-February into the first part of Pisces season. USA drew the star. Now, we are going to have Mercury retrograde. So we're also going to be revisiting something. Now remember, Mercury is on the lower heaven here. It rules the 10th house. Mercury is in Pisces. It's going to go retrograde on February 17th. So we're going to be revisiting a bunch of this stuff. It'll go direct on March 10th. Think about, I think the Supreme Court is going to start arguments on his taxes in March. We have Neptune here, which also it represents a haze, confusion, illusion, toxins, spirituality. We have the vertex here. The vertex is kind of like a fateful point, kind of synchronistically, where things happen, where fate enters your life out of nowhere. 3 degrees Pisces. And we have that now, we the people, we drew the government. The United States of America drew the star. This has to do with him, Photis. Something is happening. And these are squaring not only the midheaven and the lower heaven, but also Donald's natal sun is 21 degrees Gemini, and his moon is 22 degrees Sagittarius. I feel like it splits him apart from the top and the bottom of the chart. This is what it feels like, and this can be a really healing experience. In the 7th house of We the People, we now drew the 7 of Cups here, meaning what's been so cloudy and confusing, reversed means there's manifest. A decision's been made. We can see some things now. USA drew, oh no, was it like, did I pick? The 10 of Cups reversed. The 10 of Cups represents the Republican Party. Reversed. Oh shit. Also happening, now this is the end of Pisces season into the beginning of spring, the first day of spring. So we're talking like March. The other thing to know, this house is going to be active from June through November because Mars is going to be here. It's going to enter Aries on June 28th. It's going to go forward in its sign. Look, it'll go into the 8th house here. It's going to retrograde, go backwards. It's going to shut down and be sleepy for a while. September 10th, and then on November 14th, after the election, it's going to go direct. Meanwhile, June, during this time, in June and July, Mercury is going to be retrograde. So again, we're revisiting a lot of things. I know I said we had Mercury retrograde here, but that's going to be in February, March. By the time we get to the June, July retrograde, the sun will be over here. Mars is really lagging behind because it's going to go retrograde. So, in the 8th house of shared resources, we the people drew the Queen of Pentacles. Shared resources have taxes, hello. Life, death, transformation, change, endings. Other people's money, taxes, inheritances, money laundering, royalties, bribes. And this is going to be from April into beginning of May. The moon, the outrage, the veil is lifted. We can see clearly what's going on. I feel like this isn't because we're searching for the truth. This is in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio has Mars in it right now. At the beginning of this solar cycle, we have the moon and Mars in Scorpio. Look at all this work Scorpio has done. Uranus is there, so we're going to have jolting, unexpected news. And maybe Nancy has the receipts and the tax returns. But we are howling. We are pissed. This is a very, very emotional moment. Wow. And by then, Saturn will have moved into Aquarius, so Uranus and Saturn are going to be in square. There's going to be a lot of developments here. So over here in lands far away, the United States of America, come end of May into beginning of June, the 10 of Wands. The United States has an incredible amount of burdens. Look at, I love this angel here that's guiding the United States on what to do with these burdens. We the people drew the Page of Pentacles, which has to do with moneyed news, lands far away. This always shows up for me as Putin's house. And so Venus, oh yeah, it's moneyed news, you betcha, because look, May 14th, Venus will hit the 10th house, Capricorn's home, with moneyed news, but she's going to turn retrograde. She's going to be weak. So she's going to fall back into the 9th house, Putin's house. We're going to get money news. This might also be Junior and Kushner. It also might be Mark Zuckerberg, because he had the Venus, transit of Venus in the chart of Facebook when they went public. And there's those 10 of Wands, all those burdens getting to the end. And so, as we get to the end of June, beginning of July, we the people have the Magician. We are going to create some magic here. We're going to make stuff happen. We have eclipses. We're going to click these eclipses. We're going to have new eclipses here. And Mars is going to be over here making things happen. Oh my God. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords reverse. Now, the Page of Swords has been multiple people for me. It's been Brad Parscale. It's been, like Lev and Igor. It's been all of their little guys that they have running around doing their errands with intelligence. So you could even think of Sonlind. And when it comes to social media, you could think of Brad Parscale, Mark Zuckerberg sometimes. Something with intelligence and spies is going to get turned on its head. We have eclipses. We have a retrograde Mercury now, and Venus is going to be retrograde until June 25th. So we're going to have a Mercury retrograde after the Venus retrograde. There's going to be so much going on in the public skies. Now, in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, friendships, the United States of America has the King of Pentacles. This is usually candidate Trump. We at ZQT have the Three of Wands reverse, meaning a plan that's been progressing has been disrupted. Does it relate to the King of Pentacles, Donald? Kind of. The King of... So this time of year, the end of July into August, I think maybe are the RNC and DNC conventions. This might be related to that. Are these the conventions? I'm getting a yes. So something happens with the nominees for United States of America, and a plan that we realize is coming to an end. Over here in the area of secrets, retreat, hidden enemies, spirituality, institutions like jails and hospitals, we have United States of America. The Seven of Pentacles now has been turned on its head. The Seven of Pentacles were all those goals and aspirations turned on its head. Seven of Pentacles for me has shown up as the Trump crime syndicate, Trump himself, and whoever is doing his errands, that when they're handing over agency money hidden in other avenues, Donald and company always get a kickback. So we might find out about kickbacks, more money news. Maybe somebody is going to jail. And this is going to happen end of August into September. Something else is happening in September. I can't recall. So in the first house of identity, now we are getting into October. The end of September, October. October is messy when the sun goes into Libra. We had a beautiful fall season this year. I said we would have justice all fall long, and we certainly did. I just loved that video so much. If you need some more encouragement about predictions and setting trends related to the horoscope and the Tarotscope, I encourage you to watch that one again. I always love rewatching my stuff, because there are so many clues that were there that you didn't realize before. But anyway, USA identity. Okay, see, I told you this is going to be really difficult. End of September, October, these are going to be very hard months. They're very charged. The first house also feeds the ascendant. So we at ZQT have the Five of Swords. That's the mafia for me. It's been Rudy Giuliani. It's been Paul Manafort. The Five of Wands is all the obstruction that's been done by this administration. It's also the means by which, I think it's Putin's philosophy on how to just bind up and slow down government. Now, the ascendant has something to do with this. We said we have the devil on the ascendant for us. That just spilled out. So we are going to be recognizing this stuff that's happening with spies and deals that have been made, secret deals. The United States, there's going to be a lot of obstruction, but they're in harmony. We're going to have to stay on our toes here. This is going to be really important for us and our fellow Americans. And you know what? This is the Five of Swords. I have to make this correction before I forget. Five of Swords. Okay. Now, I hope that you guys are paying attention to the months that these are happening, what relates to your sun signs, because we're going to get to the pick a card, And the pick a card is going to be guiding you through the majority of this stuff. This is why I'm being so thorough, so that we can keep in consideration our little community and our perspective together, and then the larger one, you know, the larger perspective that we need to keep in mind as we're going through things. Now, in the second house, this is very interesting because this is election season. The moon is there, which represents the people. The part of fortune is there, where we're going to have luck. We, the people, ZQT, picked the star card, which is the president. USA picked the Two of Wands, which means there's a plan, which feels new to me. So there's a new plan with the president, it looks to me. And then lastly, as we come into the end of November, Thanksgiving, and we head towards Christmas in 2020, we chose the Page of Swords here in the third house of communications, digital media, social media, publications, media in general, neighborhoods, families. The USA had this at the 10th house reversed. USA in the third house, communications, has, oh my God, the Knight of Swords. This is like an army of spies. This is like a higher up spy for Donald, not just his Iran people, but I would say like on the level of a Parscale, or even like his kids, Junior and Eric, because they put the stuff out there. They have a direct relationship with them. People who did not register FARA as a foreign agent. This is really kind of huge, because this is at the end of the year, and intelligence is really an important thing. Knight of Swords is also our intel agencies. So we have Mars here, aggression, and Scorpio. Scorpio with Mars is a detective, and will not stop, is unstoppable until they turn over every single stone. We have Mercury there, our ancestors, our founding fathers, and documents. And in Sagittarius, that represents lands far away, so we're going to be, there's a really big push right now, you guys, to uncover stuff overseas. Wow. Okay, so this is a finish of the third video in this series. Now this fourth part, I promise you, we're going to do the pickup card. Between now and then, you should be having an idea where your priorities are and where you need to focus for this upcoming year to develop your plan. And the new moon wishes, you're going to apply that plan at the new moon on Christmas. This is your Christmas gift to yourselves and to each other and to the world, okay? Thanks.